He's one of the most brilliant of Australia's current crop of sprinters, and his decimal point defeats in some of our big Group 1s made him somewhat of a cult hero. Now standing at Aquas Farm in the Hunter Valley, Spieth, the son of Thorne Park, has a fabulous colour and physique and is sure to throw his speed and determination into his offspring. Well, Jimmy, it's an absolute pleasure to see Spieth here today. He's a real favourite of mine. I just love the way that he raced and how he looked. And he looks so good here, straight out of a racing preparation.
He's only been out of work for 4 weeks. He was with David Hayes at Lindsay Park, and geez, he's already starting to let down so well. Come Stallion Parade Day, he'll look immaculate.
And Thorne Park is sire, a champion stallion, as we know. He is the closest in looks to him, isn't he? He's just a pea in the pod of his champion sire father.
If you compare them both, even the markings, they're absolutely identical. Just a horse, you know, who has good angles to him, good length about him, strong, just built like a tank, you know, just a good sprinter. He has a lot of rain about him, and he's a fluid mover. He has a very big loose walk on him. And no wonder he made that kind of money as a yearling. You know, he was on a lot of people's shortlist, and he was a Karaka purchase for $200,000, and you can see why he brought that kind of money at a yearling sale. He's just a gorgeous looking horse.
His mother's by Machiavellian sire Titus Livius. Machiavellian is the sire of Street Cry. Of course, we know a champion sire and the sire of the Great Winks. And the dam also is a three-quarter sister to a Horse of the Year and a champion three-year-old in Germany. And we know how strong German breeding is, particularly more and more in Australia. We're seeing that.
We are, and Titus Livius, he was a champion sprinter in France himself, and Machiavellian, of course, was a very good two-year-old. He was champion two-year-old, so he has speed on both sides of his pedigree, which you'd like to see. And not only that, he comes from the family of Encosta de Lago and Flying Spur, who are champion stallions here, and also Group 1 winning, sprinters and sires like Snarty, and European first season leading sire Charm Spirit. So yeah, he's bred in the purple, absolutely.
He was early on. I mean, he was an early three-year-old when he raced, but he won his second start at Pakenham. So, you know, straight off the bat, once he got to the racetrack, he really showed great potential.
He did, and he always had a good turn of foot. If you see his races, the way he finishes his races and his sectionals, he was always there. And even his win, his stakes win, he lost, you know, he missed the kick by 2 lengths, and then he just rattled home, and, you know, he just put them away.
Spieth, he's really starting to power now. Kaepernick wide out, but Spieth hits the lead from Kaepernick late. Spieth gets the money, last out, first home.
You know, he came back in the autumn and won at Kembla Rosehill Saturday grade, then up the straight at Flemington, and then of course made it 4 in a row in the City Tats Lightning. And after the Tats Lightning, that was the Darley Classic, 0.1 of a length to Malaguera. And I mean, there were some pretty emotional people, weren't there, obviously close to him, which has really made him a bit of a character too.
He ran his heart out, but wasn't meant to be on the day. But no, he's a horse that everyone's ever always liked. His trainers have always liked him. He's had a good bunch of owners that have raced him, so no, he's a horse with a profile and just unlucky on the day.
Well, he spelled, he came back, he was first up in the Lightning, and again he was beaten 0.1 of a length this time to Terra Vista in the Lightning. I mean, that was just a staggering performance, and again, you know, what could have been?
Look, there are many unlucky stories of a lot of horses, but he is the real unlucky horse that you've seen in your modern era. And he locked horns with all the good sprinters. You know, there was Chautauqua, there was Lankan Rupee, Red Zell, Redkirk Warrior. So he raced in the golden age of Australian sprinters. They weren't B grade, they were A grade sprinters he was taking on. And yeah, you know, he missed it by that much, not once but twice. You know, but that's racing. But his Group 1 ability, he's a Group 1 horse any day of the week. David Hayes has always said that to us, that he loved the horse, and his sectionals proved that. He was just a fast horse. Look, he'll get quality and he'll get quantity from Aquis. We're going to send 30 of our really, really good mares to him. And more than that, there's a great bunch of owners that raced him with us who will support the horse. Just a few names, you know, Miranda Park, Rothwell Park, Evergreen Stud, Peter O'Brien, Sledmare, G1G Racing, and Raffles Racing, of course. And so the list is endless for good breeders who are going to send one of their best mares to the horse. He'll have every chance to succeed, and we'll ensure that.
Yeah, and you are in the best place, I guess. You know, this is where the quality mares are, isn't it, in the Hunter Valley?
Of course, this is the hub of breeding in Australia. You know, there's no other place you'd really want to be with a horse like him. And he's an outcross, he's a sprinter, and he's good looking. So he ticks all the boxes, and he's well priced. And I don't think there's a better looking or a better value first season horse in the Hunter with the profile that this horse has. So the breeders will love him when they see him on parade day.
Win.